know I need a haircut, but my mom said no more hats at press conferences, so here I am. I don't know why, but she had that directive. Okay, where are we at? Cincinnati game, I guess we touch on that a little bit. Once again, our guys played really well, particularly on offense. Defense, little too many yards total, but the bottom line is keeping points off the board, and our guys did a great job of that, 14 points, to a team who had been averaging much more than that. And so proud of the way the defense was able to do that. We did get 3 takeaways, although we gave one of them back on the same play, with the fumble. But it was good to see the defense create some takeaways. Offensively, we did turn it over once, which we can live with that. Ideal is 0, but I thought they were very efficient, ran the ball well, threw the ball well, were very balanced. So overall, a good game. Yeah, really good game. And like I said, I thought our guys played with a lot of passion, a lot of energy, a lot of physicality, and got the win. Bye week was productive. We pretty much followed the same exact format as we did in bye week number 1, so not much change there. We felt like that was a pretty good way to handle it, and so we repeated it. No reason to change a bunch. We'll be back on the field today in full pads, front load the week just like we did again the last bye week, and taper down and be ready to go play Baylor on Saturday. Baylor's a very talented football team, I can tell you right now. They've got a lot of good players, a lot of athleticism, length, and they've had some good wins this year, some tough losses, but they're a quality football team. There's no doubt about it. Got to go to their place. Should be. Last time we were there, it was scorching hot. It should be 70 degrees, which is no problem. In fact, we might even get some rain, I guess, is what I understand. So we'll see how that shakes out. But got to have a great week of preparation, as always. And this team's playing with a lot of confidence right now, our team, and really have seemed to gain some momentum the last few weeks. So questions?
I got Justin's question here. How are you going to implement more go routes in the offensive game plan this week against Baylor?
Yeah, that's been a topic pretty much all season, the deep balls and the chunk yardage. Just got to keep dialing them up, first of all. We got to call enough of a percentage of them that hopefully we can connect on some. But that is something that certainly is, we're aware of and has been a focal point to try to get a few more shots in there. But you got to do what you do best. Right now, we're running the ball really well, and so that's our bread and butter at this point. And but again, sure would help the offense to get some more chunk plays, to not have to have those 12, 14 play drives to get in the end zone.
And then Texas Tech, obviously, probably the favorite in the Big 12 now. How do you see the race for that number 2 spot to get in the Big 12 championship?
Yeah, could get interesting here as we go along. We're not really concerned with it. I mean, we're concerned with it, but we don't focus on it. We're still in the hunt mathematically, as a couple teams are got losses this past weekend. But we just got to keep doing our thing. We just know that we have to win this week. I mean, that's our bottom line. And if we are able to get a win on Saturday, then we stay in the hunt, and we'll see what happens with everybody else.
What have you seen from Wayshawn Parker the last couple of weeks?
Well, first of all, we're giving him more opportunity, which is a good thing. He's had more carries. He's shown a lot of explosiveness. You talk about explosive throws, you also need explosive runs. That's another way to get explosive plays, and so he's given us several of those. He's a really good back, and he is really starting to hit his stride. As I mentioned, I think it was after the press conference, after the game Saturday, 2 Saturdays ago against Cincinnati, that he has really separated himself right now as running back 1. He's the guy that is our lead back, and deservedly so.
Kyle, Baylor has the best passing offense in the Big 12.
Yeah, they do.
What is the big thing that you guys need to focus on this week to limit Sawyer Robinson and that passing attack?
Got to try to make him uncomfortable. If he just sits back there and has all day to throw and can throw to those, they got 3 really productive receivers, a really productive tight end, catches everything. They also have a really good back. He was a 1,000-yard back last year, and he's closing in on 1,000 this year. So they've got weapons around him, and the offensive line is playing efficiently. So, yeah, he's number one thrower in the league as far as yards per game. I believe he's number one in the league in total offense per game. And he's got a good supporting cast. He does not run as much as the quarterbacks that we faced this year, but he likes to beat you from the pocket with his arm. And so we've got to find a way to not let him get comfortable back there and just go through his progression. We've got to speed things up.
Kyle, obviously with you guys going into the state of Texas, I know you guys have expanded recruiting into the South and into Oklahoma and just other places with the conference realignment. Just kind of walk me through, you've talked about it a little in the past, just some of the negative recruiting that comes with being in Utah and, with
Yeah.
kind of recruiting in different states now outside of your normal footprint that you guys have. Has that become more challenging given just what some of the stereotypes there are in Utah?
I wouldn't say more challenging. I would just say more of the same. What we've dealt with for years. They say, "Oh, you're going to want a trip to Utah. You're going to, dirt roads and covered wagons, and each coach has 6 wives and all that stuff." And so yeah, we have come across this before, and it's something that is part of recruiting. You just got to, say, hey, come up here and take a visit and see what you think. Decide for yourself. And I don't know if we've ever had a guy say, no, I'm not coming because of all the things I've heard about it. So it really doesn't have as much of an impact as I'm sure that people that are negative recruiting would like it to. But we've learned to deal with that through the years.
To piggyback off of that, bye weeks used to be really big for recruiting with coaches going out. Is that still the case, or how has that changed the last couple years?
Still the case. We do a good deal of recruiting on the bye weeks. The NCAA has scaled back how much you can be out. I think it's now 40 days, 40 total. So if you send 7 coaches out for one day, that's 7 days. One coach goes out for 4 days, that's 4 days. So 40 total opportunities. I think we only have a few left that we haven't utilized. And so, yes, we do it, but not as extensively as we have in the past because of the limitation.
And then with the bye week, obviously rest was the priority, as you mentioned, but how much of last week was about kind of resetting the mindset for this final stretch of the season?
Well, a great deal, and also focusing in on Baylor. We got a great start on our game plan for the next opponent, but yeah, we've had discussion, team meetings and where we're sitting, and but again, all we can do is take care of our part, and that's job one, and that starts with Baylor this week. But yeah, we feel like we're 7-2. Everyone would like to be 9-0. We're not, but we're still in the hunt, and we're playing some good football right now. And I think we've got a couple good outings the last 2 outings.
A bit of a 2-part question. Your defense has allowed only 14 or so points a game in scoring, which is the lowest since like 1960s or something like that.
Yeah.
On top of that, your pass defense has been pretty solid this year. What has accounted to that, and how does that really impact this team in what you've been able to do?
Well, we're playing well in the red zone, which keeps points off the board. So that's a big part of why we're only giving up 14 at 14.3 or 7, whatever the number is, and so that's a big deal. I think that the secondary has played really well this season. As you mentioned, we're top 2 or 3 in the league in pass defense, and so that's another big part of it is we're not allowing, you talk about us getting chunk plays, we're not allowing a bunch of chunk plays, which helps us. But Coach Scally and his staff doing a great job schematically. We got a lot of good players on defense. There's no question about that. All 3 levels are really solid. And so, just if we got to keep it up for 3 more weeks, I guess.
Kyle, Ryan Davis is by far and away the number 1 receiver. I think he's got 24 more catches than anyone else. Do you expect defenses to try to take him away, which would open up opportunities for other guys? And then do you think we'll see more of Smith Snowden and Lander Barton on offense? Haven't seen a lot from them last few weeks.
Yeah, I think Lander played 20-something snaps on defense, or offense rather. Snowden's has slowed down with the emergence of Daniel Bray. He's doing a lot of things that Smith did or was going to do. And so Daniel has really allowed us to let Smith focus more just on defense. Noah Benny, I did it again. Jackson Benny has showed up here and there on offense, and he'll continue to show up a little bit down the stretch here. But really, the answer to the question is, yeah, you'll see Lander continue to get some reps as a second tight end. you'll see Jackson Benny sprinkled in there, and you probably won't see much at all of Smith.
And do you expect our defense to take away Ryan Davis?
Oh, yeah, if they haven't by now, I mean, he's been catching balls since the first game, and so, he certainly has got the attention of opposing defenses, but they really haven't seemed to make a real concerted effort to bracket him or completely take him away. So we'll see. Coach Aranda's a really good defensive guy, and we'll see what they have in mind this week.
Kyle, the first college football playoff rankings came out last week where you guys were number 13. Obviously, there's been some movement, and we'll find out more on Tuesday just where you guys are. Given if you guys aren't able to make, the Big 12 championship game, how confident are you at a potential at-large college football playoff bid? And I know you're obviously focused on Baylor, but just kind of walk me through where your thinking is on that.
Our thinking is we're really focused on Baylor right now, and we just know that we don't have any margin for error. We understand that, and so I think it was a nice show of respect for our program from the committee to rank us where we were ranked. But again, we got to take things 1 week at a time, and that's exactly what we're doing this week, and not to not have a better answer for you, but that's just how we're handling it.
What would you say is the kind of defining characteristic of this team so far?
I would say great leadership. We have tremendous captains this year. Not that we haven't in the past, but fortunately they've all been able to stay healthy and intact. That's a big part of it. And then not just the captains, but the upperclassmen. Because we had a couple of really disappointing games that we had to bounce back from, and I credit the leaders for really making that happen. And practice is as good as it's ever been here as far as the energy and the focus and the juice. And so, again, that's probably the number one thing that has really driven this team and helped us get 7 wins.
Kind of building off of that, the bye week last time, it was big for Devin to get healthy and a lot of the other guys. How is the health of Devin, Smith, and other guys that got kind of banged up during that Cincinnati game?
Good. We feel good about them, and we'll find out more today because they've had 1, 2, 3 days off, and so hopefully they're in a pretty good place today. So we'll find out more today. We won't tell anybody what they're doing, but you get to read the report. Wasn't it come out on Wednesdays? Yes. Yeah, Wednesday. Do you like that report, by the way? Is that something that's been a positive for you? Good. Yeah. Okay.
One more out there.
One more or no more? I guess we're done. Thank you, everybody.